Python peeps, it's Prof G, and here comes the sun. It's time to break out those shades because we're going to be working with the light sensor to detect light using CircuitPython. And while we normally code in the excellent PyCharm, after we write our code in PyCharm, we're going to open up and run it in the online editor at code.circuitpython.org, which we used earlier in our series, because that code editor also includes a handy plotter, and we're going to use that to graph our sensor reading while the code runs. Let's code! If you're new here, welcome. You might want to check out the playlist to see how we got here. Now, the light sensor on the CircuitPlayground Bluefruit and Express is super easy to use in CircuitPython. This is a standard low-cost light sensor. If you look at the CPB, it's located roughly where you see the silkscreen image of the eye on the board. A8 on this image here is the pin number. Now, there's no external pad named A8, but that's the internal number that's used. We'll never use that. But to use the sensor, we're going to import a new library, and that's AnalogIo. And that's because the light sensor is considered an analog sensor. For now, you can think of the difference between analog and digital this way. Digital inputs have two states, 1 or 0. When we created our buttons, we used the digital I/O library, and that's because the button has two states. Either it's on, pressed, true, or off, not pressed, false. Now, our light sensor is an analog sensor. It can provide a continuous and more nuanced curve of input. In fact, the results of the sensor can be a number from 0, absence of light, to 65,535, which is the brightest possible light. Now, there are digital sensors that are capable of providing more nuanced inputs too, so I don't want to get into the weeds in that, but I think this is a good enough introduction to analog and digital at this point in your CircuitPython career. So since the light sensor is an analog sensor, we need to import AnalogIo. And next we need to create an object from the AnalogIn class that's found inside of the AnalogIo library, and that's what this line here is doing. And we create the object by passing board.light into the AnalogIo class. Now, board.light is the location of the sensor on our CircuitPlayground Bluefruit or Express, and the object created by this class could be called anything, but why don't we call it light_sensor? That's a good name since it's a light sensor. Then to get the amount of light that's read by the light sensor, we just read light_sensors.value property. So here's our entire code, and you'll notice here that I have the light_sensors.value property in double parens, one for the print function and one more inside of it. Now, I don't need the second set of parens to print the value, but later in this lesson, we'll open and run this code in the online editor at code.circuitpython.org, which can run our code on our board and plot the results in real time. Now, in order to plot, we need the value to be in what's called a tuple. A Python tuple is a collection of one or more values between parentheses separated by commas. And you've seen tuples before. Colors are tuples with 3 values. Now, one weird quirk about tuples in Python, if there's only one value, you have to have a comma at the end of that single value. Now, that said, I ran into a bug in the online plotter when I was recording this lesson. I filed a report with Adafruit, but as of this recording, when we finally get to the plotter, we're going to remove the comma, even though normally Python wants that for single value tuples, just to make sure that we don't crash. One more thing, I've added a time sleep of 0.2 of a second at the end of our while true loop, just to slow down the output of print statements. Otherwise, the sensor readings would happen so fast that it'd be tough to read the changes. So this code is super simple. Let's try it out in PyCharm. Let's plug in our CircuitPlayground boards, launch PyCharm, and make a little awesome. So here's the code as per the previous lesson. I'm just going to change the comment up here so it reads light sensor. And since we're writing such a small amount of code, I'm going to delete everything else in this program and work from scratch. So our import statement is going to be board, time, AnalogIo, one word, all lowercase. Now, AnalogIo is actually built into core CircuitPython, and it's available for the CircuitPlayground boards. So since we've imported CircuitPython stubs into our PyCharm project already, we don't need to import anything else, and there's no extra library that we need to add to our board's lib folder. Now, the first thing we do is set up our light sensor, and we're going to call that light_sensor. We'll set that equal to, inside of the AnalogIo library, we'll say .analogIn class, capital A, capital I, and we're going to pass in between the parentheses board.light. That's the location of the light sensor on our CircuitPlayground board. And PyCharm knows about this and can suggest this in code completion because we used the CircuitPython setBoard command in an earlier lesson to set our board to the CircuitPlayground Bluefruit. You might have set yours to CircuitPlayground Express if you're using that board. The Express also has a built-in light sensor, and light is spelled with all caps. Then we'll just add our while true loop. And inside that loop, we'll say print with 2 parentheses. I'll say light_sensor.value, and I'll end that with a comma and close it with 2 parentheses. That puts the light sensor value in a tuple, and we use that to plot it out in the plotter. I'll show you that in a bit after we get things running in PyCharm. Then I'll just slow this down by saying time.sleep, and why don't we pass in 0.2 or 1/5 of a second. Then let's open the terminal and make sure you've got TO running. And we'll save. And oh, look at those values. That's our light sensor reading. And these values are fairly large because I've got a bright light right above my CircuitPlayground. Now remember, the light sensor is right by this eye, so if I cover it up, we can see the values go down. If I take my hand off slowly, you can see the numbers go up. So this is how you can read whether or not you've got light. If you wanted a particular task to be performed, say when the sun got up or a light was turned on, you could put an if statement in here and just experiment with the minimum threshold you wanted in order to be recognized as having a decent amount of light to perform your task. Cool, so let's save this to our CircuitPython school folder as light-sensor.py, and we can close the extra tab. And now let's quit out of PyCharm and open up Chrome. Remember, this doesn't work in Safari, and head to code.circuitpython.org. Once again, we need to connect to the device that's plugged to our computer. Click USB, connect to device, select the one that represents your CircuitPlayground, click Connect. Blinka will swirl, then click the Use CircuitPy button. Now no code is showing up in here, but we'll click the Open button and select code.py and click Open, and our code shows up. And you can click the Serial button to toggle close the serial console if you want to give yourself some more room. But as of the date when I'm making this recording, I found a bug in the plotter. Now if you worked with a previous alternative to plotting values in CircuitPython, that was a program called Moo that's being discontinued. Moo required single value tuples to end with a comma. It looks weird. Python allows that to happen. It was required in Moo, but that causes your output to freeze in the online plotter. So I'm just going to highlight that ending comma, delete it. Then we'll click Save and Run. It usually takes about 5 seconds. Blinka will swirl. And now we're seeing readings show up in our serial console. No difference. But now for the moment of truth, let's head up here to the plotter button and click that. And oh, we see the reading spike in a low-high band, but watch what happens when we cover the sensor. The new low reading is much lower and the plot plummets. Very cool. And you can experiment with this, taking your hand off, putting it on, changing the speed that you move your hand off and on. Now you can also try out the settings at the top of the graph. For example, up here is a buffer size. That's how many plot points are retained as the window scrolls by. I've upped the value from 20 to 100, and you'll see more plot points added until we plot 100 points, and that'll be the new buffer, plotting 100 points at a time. So this is very cool. Now, since we've made a change in our code, you might want to save this to your CircuitPython school folder again by clicking Save As, selecting code.py, very important to select that, then click the downward pointing download file icon, navigate to CircuitPython school, and save this as light-sensor.py, click Save, and you are now a light sensing code marvel. So once again, we had more big learning. We learned about analog versus digital. We set up our first analog input device, the light sensor. We got the light sensor reading a value from 0 to 65,535, and we printed the value in a tuple for plotting in Moo. Hopefully you can put what you just learned about the light sensor to work as you make something awesome.